Good day, everyone. So today I want to speak about reverb. I want to go to this topic again. Yes, I want to look at reverb as in reverb and how to add that to your song. I have a little track here that I want us to listen to so that you can hear the reverb in it. With you by my side, I can face the world. There's no turning back. We will run this world. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so basically it's just an acoustic guitar and a lead vocal. I'm the one singing there. So what I want to look at is just the reverb basically, and how you can utilize this awesome plugin to just enhance your reverb or your room creation. So up here we've got the EQ. The low EQ controls the low frequencies in the room. Turning right increases the bass. So if we turn it up here, increases the bass, and then turning it left increases gives it brightness to it. And then you have got the high control frequencies. When you turn it right, it gives you higher frequencies, and then when you turn it left, it gives you the higher frequencies. It decreases the higher frequencies. So if I just want to look at this guitar verb. The one that I put in here basically is just from the preset that is on here, but we can basically create any that we want with a lot of early reflection. So let's just hear the guitar alone, and then let's see what. So as you can hear that there is an increase in the high frequencies whenever I increase that. Let's take it down. And then create a more bassy reverb or darker room. So you can hear that it has increased the low frequencies more. So you can adjust this. And then the dry, basically if you want the reverb to the person who's singing, the source to be closer to you or to be far away from you, so you can use that. And then this increases the amount of room that you add. Usually I have this more higher and then the reverb lower. If I'm running it through aux like this, then usually I will take the wet 100%, increase that by 100%, and then play with my dry signal up here. So when you turn it to the left, brings the sound source closer to you, and then when you turn it to the right, as you can see, takes it further away. Takes it further away. So, and then the room size basically just controls the size of the room. You can go from small all the way small to excuse me, all the way small to big, cathedral size, and so on. And then you've got the pre-delay up here. The pre-delay is basically the time between direct source and the start of early reflection. Increase pre-delay for a bigger room. So here is your pre-delay, here your source will be here. So how far you want the source to be from the reflection of the early reflections up here. So as you can hear, that's this is further away, and then this is closer. So, and then the size of the room, and then the size of the room is basically just how big or small you want the room. And then the width of the room is basically has to do with the stereo image. It is when you are taking it to the left, it's mono, and then when you are taking it to the right, you create more a stereo image, or give an impression of being closer in the room or being far away. So if I bring it to more to the left, that's closer, and then that's further away. And then the diffusion has to do with if you increase it will result in reflection being closer, the early reflections being closer or being far away. So the reflections closer, that's a thicker sound. Decreasing it will result in reflections moving far apart and signal is being scattered all over in the room. So then you have got the damping side here, where you have your high frequencies that can be increased, and then how much of that you want to be dampened, and then you and decrease that, and how much of that you want of the high frequencies to be dampened, or whether you want less. So you can work this with that up here, with this high EQ frequency up here. And then the absorption of early reflection, turn right to increase early reflection absorption. So you want to turn it right to increase the early reflection absorption, how much is absorbed or very little is absorbed. And then early reflection tail balances your early and late reflections. So this up here, your late reflections and your early reflections, you want to balance them up there. So you can utilize these basic knobs that are up here to create basically the sound that you want, but you have to understand what each knob does and what changes it can bring towards creating the sound that you like. So what I did up here with my, let's just go back to my vocal so that you can hear what I did with my, you can see what I did with my vocal. So as you can see, I selected a preset, a plate. That's what I started with, and then I reduced my highs and then my lows, and then my dry is a little bit more, my wet is just in the middle up there. And you can see I don't really have late reflections, I didn't create that. And then also my frequencies, as you can see, there's a lot of high frequencies that are being absorbed. If I create the decay, the decay is the amount of time it takes for the reverb to fall down, so before it decreases in the dB or size or volume and so on. So let me just, I can increase this and then I can go up here. And then the modulation basically is about how fast you want the frequencies to move in the room, hit the walls and come back towards you, how fast you want that frequencies, the echoes, to vibrate basically. So I play around with these knobs to get basically a feel of what I want. So I'll be running through it so that you get an idea of what I'm doing as I'm making adjustments up here. I can face the world. There's no turning back. We will run this world. Whoa, 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 with you by my side, I can face the world. There's no turning back. We will run this world. Whoa, 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 whoa. With you by my side, I can face the world. There's no turning back. We will run this world. Whoa, whoa, whoa. With you by my side, I can face the world. is no turning back. We will run this world. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, so thank you very much. I hope this was helpful, and please like and subscribe.